people don't know is they think that Creek Harbour is just that island. In reality, that's about 15 to 20% of the whole site.
The big thing with Creek, I guess, is so new, people treat it like it's finished when it's barely even started. Emaar by far have built the most successful communities in the whole of Dubai.
It does feel quite similar to Europe for me, as opposed to anywhere else.
What my personal favourite upcoming project is...
It's alright, I did. So Charlie's a little bit nervous, obviously. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 1 of That Dubai Creek Harbour podcast by Strata. My name is Gino Forte. To the right of me here you'll see...
Dylan Scott. I handle the rentals for the Creek team here.
And then to the left of me, you might recognise him from the True Broker billboard. It's...
Charlie Serjeant. I've been specialising in Creek Harbour for 3 years now. And I have a degree in real estate management as well. So yeah, I've been working in Creek for 3 years now, and seen the area develop.
3 years, yeah?
Yeah, 3 years, that's right. 3 years.
Yeah. So Charlie's a little bit nervous, obviously. It's our first podcast. There's going to be a few little hiccups. We're going to keep it going. Basically, I've been doing Creek Harbour now for 1 year. My background is about 6 years in car sales. I'm from Ireland. Dill, you've been here for...
I've been here for just over a year because I got here November last year. Since you're talking about background, I don't really have any. This is the first job I've done, but I'm now a year in, know a lot about the area, as I'm about to showcase on this podcast.
Okay, so kind of where we're planning on starting off basically is we've got a big handover coming up in the new year basically, which is going to be Creek Beach Phase 2. So this week we've sold 2 units there. Me and Charlie sold a 2-bed for how much did we? 2.15 for a 2-bed. That will be in the later half of the handover, but there is units coming up sooner, and I sold a 1-bed at the start of the week. So yeah. Charlie, I guess Creek Beach Phase 1 handed over about August last year? Is that about right?
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah.
Since that, those units when they handed over, we saw the prices just jump up. It's the first part of the mainland that's handed over. Obviously, Creek, as you know, at the moment is very much a sub-community with you've got Creek Island. But what people don't know is they think that island is just Creek. Creek Harbour is just that island. In reality, that's about 15 to 20% of the whole site.
Yeah.
What people don't know is the Creek Harbour site is twice the size of downtown Dubai.
Yeah.
So they see it as look at that, it's developing. That sub-community is very well developed, which is what makes it a great place to live in, a great place to invest in. But that's the thing. Long term, you've still got so much development, so much potential for capital appreciation in the area. Just
like any Emaar developments, I guess you're buying into community. Like from Dylan's point of view, so you're obviously doing rentals there. Every month on average, there's about 400 new rental contracts in Creek Harbour. So people are already choosing to live there based on 20% of what's coming, which is pretty interesting. So one aspect of the podcast we're going to do, and Dylan's going to be taking over it, he's going to be talking about basically new things that opened the island, because pretty much every week there's something going on, really, isn't there?
Every week, yeah. It gets busier all the time.
I guess to start off, just tell us maybe your 2 favorite places now, and then we'll turn it into new things from the episodes going onwards. So
okay, yeah, I was excited for this bit. So I'm going to say my favorite place to eat and my favorite licensed place. My favorite place to eat is Next Door Kitchen. If you go, please go for the prime rib sandwich. It is a banger. My favorite licensed place is the Vida. I'm always telling people, head over to Creek and see how you feel about it there. The Vida is the best starting point. It's the most vibrant bit of the area just outside there, and the views are the best there. It's just the best place to go. So if you've not been to Creek, go to the Vida, get a coffee, and then explore from there.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's like any meeting I have in Creek, anytime when my parents came over, anytime I've ever brought anyone to Creeks, just straight to the Vida. You've got your valet parking. If you buy anything, just stamp your valet card, and you can walk anywhere in Creek.
Exactly, you're right in the middle. You're centre of the area. You've got, like Dylan said, got the iconic view. It's just first place to go when if you want to get to see the area right along the harbour. And
it's interesting because the whole community of Creek Island is basically built almost dispersed around the Vida Hotel. So the Vida Hotel, it's right in the centre. They've got prime real estate. You've got Creek residences, 1, 2, and 3 either side, North Tower, South Tower, and it just builds out from it. So it is it couldn't be a better starting point, really. And most Fridays you'll find someone from our team there most Fridays. Today, realistically, it's Friday now. After this, me and you are probably going to be out there for the day. So if you are ever looking to catch one of us on a Friday 100%. On the hop, you'll more than likely catch one of us in the V on a Friday evening. And that's the big thing with Creek, I guess. It's so new, but people treat it like it's finished when it's barely even started. It's like the whole thing about selling communities, like Emar are the best at making communities. People talk about all these other different things. Emar by far have built the most successful communities in the whole of Dubai.
100%, because it's not just about the buildings. If you compare it to another area like JVC, you've got a whole mix of developers there throwing up towers left, right, and center. But then you don't have the town planning aspect of it. You don't have the simple stuff like pavements, simple stuff like it's not as well designed as it is with an EMAR community.
It's like control, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's when
a massive park. Sorry, I'm just saying, you've got a massive park. Everything is well integrated together, and that's what you're paying for. That's what you've got that planning, that ahead, that whole development. Which again, in terms of an investment standpoint, you've got so much capital appreciation potential because people want to live in a nice area. Yeah, obviously you want to live in a nice apartment, but it's the area. It's the area that sells it.
Yeah, because the apartments, like EMAR apartments, they are what they are. For example, if you compare like Creek Residences to Mulberry in Dubai Hills, it's identical apartments. They're just in a different area. Like, it's all about the community, the walkability. Like, I'd imagine you get that a lot with like a lot of the tenants who rent from you. I'd imagine are like European tenants, UK, because they can actually walk around. That's the big thing for me there. Like, in Dubai, not everything is accessible for people on foot. Whereas where you're in Creek Harbour, there's nowhere in the island you can't get easily on foot, like when it comes to like crossing roads, all that kind of stuff. So like, it's a huge thing as well. Again, back to the community side of it.
But just before you go back to the community, the walking aspects of things, majority of viewings I do, I'll show them the apartment, then I'll leave and we'll go for a walk around. I think that is the key thing that I personally love about Creek. Like you said, you can walk everywhere.
Yeah.
And people don't realise that everywhere else you don't get that. There's loads of cars everywhere beeping at you. You can't actually walk in the majority of other areas like you can in Creek.
Yeah, for sure. And even just for exercise and stuff, if you want to run, like you can obviously run all around the marina side, or you can do the park run. And eventually you'll be able to do a Creek Beach run, I'd imagine, when it's fully open, when phase 2
100%. They've just opened that pedestrian bridge as well.
Yeah.
You don't get that. It sounds stupid, but all the other bridges in Dubai, they're built for cars. Everything's built for cars. Like I was saying, with the pavements, pedestrianized bridge, it's a more walkable, it's a more livable community.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Creek Beach I'm heavy on, to be honest, and it's just not spoken about enough. I feel like once that bridge opened, it sounds silly. It opened a whole new world for Creek Beach, because when you were in Creek Beach originally, they had nothing there. So it handed over, they had the Vita Hotel Creek Beach, because there is 4 hotels now in Creek and it's so small. So you had the Vita Hotel and nothing else. Now they've got like Carrefour, but you can also walk straight across that bridge, and it's like a 5-minute walk now to the island, not even like. So
spot on.
Yeah, definitely.
And like you were saying about that Creek Beach bit. So the next part, the first bit is handed over. The next bit is all set for next year, the handover.
Yeah.
You've got Grove and Orchid, which are the next buildings, it's just Grove in June 2025. And then you've got Orchid and Lotus, which are happening in September 2025. That's when the handovers are set for. And on handover, those prices will kick up. They've got the private beach access, and when they, at the end of the year as well, they're supposed to be breaking through the canal. So then you are going to have Creek Island as an actual island. And you're going to have the, boats going past. You've got the beach area. Again, there's just everything's on the up. Everything's looking, more and more stuff to open up, which is just great.
And one thing I guess that we do need to touch on, because it's kind of an elephant in the room in regards to like Creek Harbour and like questions about it, is obviously what's coming. So like there was all this talk originally about the Creek Tower, all these questions about the Creek Tower.
The main selling point. Exactly.
Yeah, it's basically like the amount of people that were buying just basically to look at this tower. What, like you'd probably know the most, like you've got, so the tower and the mall that's coming, so it's Dubai Square. It's going to be like what, 2.6 million square foot?
So initially, obviously, it was meant to be the next, world's tallest tower, new Burj Khalifa, everything. However, last year, so August 2023, Hamad Alabar of EMAR basically announced that they're going to be redesigning the Creek Tower. So it's now going to be a female version of the Burj Khalifa. So not as tall, which is obviously what the initial plans were to be the tallest. But yeah, the new design has been approved by Mohammed Alabar, but it has not been released to the public yet. So we're expecting that to come soon.
Anytime,
and obviously when that is released and when they do start construction on that again, then, again, it's just going to see another boost in the area.
Yeah, because people don't realize the foundations are set for that tower.
Exactly.
Like if you're in a Creek Beach unit that's high enough looking towards that direction, you can see the foundation set. I believe the reason they changed the size of the tower was it was kind of like I won't say the word I was going to say, but it's like a measuring contest. Basically, Saudi Arabia had announced they're doing a taller tower,
the Jeddah Tower,
which they then cancelled, and then said it's not going to be bigger. So then EMAR were obviously like, well, we don't need to make something bigger if they're not making something bigger, and that's kind of how it ended up really in the run of things. It's still going to be a spectacle. It's still going to be a skyline. It's still going to be a spectacle. The mall is like a fully eco-friendly drive-through.
Yeah, drive-through, which is just crazy. Like a drive, not just like parking, like drive-through mall.
Yeah.
As I said, it's not going to be as big as the Dubai Mall, but it's going to be a whole new generation of mall. That's
I think that's
said.
They're trying to make it not a competition, basically, isn't it? Like, so they're only competing with themselves at that point. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because it's like right now, Creek Harbour is 10, 12 minutes drive to Dubai Mall. 12 minutes?
Yeah, it's not far. People think it's so much further than it is. It's really not that far.
No, it's really, really not. And then, so that's the big selling point, I guess, when we're talking about Creek Harbour. It's like, it is a big investment play. It's a capital appreciation play at the end of the day. It's EMAR pumping money into it. It's going to be huge, twice the size of downtown. Just already people making so much dough, so much money, flipping projects, like doing rentals. As we said, there's 400 rental transactions on average a month, and it's barely even started. There's no other community in Dubai that's ever taken off as much as Creek has with barely anything done.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, again, like talking more about, like you're saying, flipping properties. Like the next, what my personal favorite upcoming project is Cove Phase 2.
Yeah.
We've got that. It's on like the prime location on Creek Island. It couldn't have better location. It's going to have full skyline views. It's on Creek Island, which is 85% complete. Mm-hmm. So it's already in like a ready sub-community.
It'll be the
second
area. Last handover, won't it?
It will be. And
it's going
to be, if you can already look at Cove Phase 1, you can see it's that level above some of the other buildings. And it's just, it's going to be the next best thing. I really do. Like I'm so in on that on Cove Phase 2. Yeah, I think it's going to be the next.
The unit I sold, so the 2-bed I just sold there was 3.15 million. So 3.15, I sold a 2-bed, full Burj Khalifa, full downtown views. And if you compare that to your exclusive listing now in the Grand, which is
2-bed, full view, same finish, it's the same quality, not interrupted, and that's now asking 3.85.
Yeah, and that's going to sell realistically.
And I know that the same layout on a higher floor, literally the seller told me 2 days ago, just sold at 3.9.
Yeah.
So literally 2 years down the road, it's the same thing. The price is going to go to 3.9, and that's assuming no market growth at all.
And it's also there's only going to be, for that unit I sold, there's only 9 units. So it's only from the 10th floor to the 19th floor. So it's low rise, and there's only 9 units because it's only half the tower. So like that gentleman is going to be a happy man in 2 years.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's a
great
investment.
Dill, I suppose, just to cover the leasing side a little bit more, who's living in Creek? Who are your clients? What are they renting? And just talk to us a little bit about that. So if people are looking at end use, because we're finding more end use people now, they want to know who's in their community. Like, so who's there? Is it families? Is it people that look like they're going to start making families? What's going on?
To be honest, there really is a big mix. There's a lot of Europeans, like you said before, but there is a mix. You get I deal with a lot of families that were maybe looking in villa communities before. They've been to Creek for some lunch, fell in love with it, and now they're looking at a 3-bedroom apartment, rent to younger people. It is a massive mix. It's usually people that are more active.
Yeah.
So, if you go, we used to go now, it's about 12 o'clock on Friday. We used to go now, there's so many people in the street just walking through, people with dogs, stuff like that. So it's more people that are active, really. Families, younger people. I'd say predominantly Europeans I've just been dealing with recently.
Yeah.
And I think because it does feel quite similar to Europe for me, as opposed to anywhere else. But I'd say that there is an answer to that, whereas I couldn't say all these young professionals or it's families. It's such a mix because people do just love it there. And same for myself, I could relate to it in any stage of my life. Like at the moment, I'm a young bachelor. I'd live there on my own, no problem. If I met a girl, I'd upgrade to a 2-bed. If I had a kid, I'd upgrade to a 3-bed. It has got something for everybody in there at the moment.
Yeah, and on that then, we've also the townhouses too. Like people don't realise that there is townhouses in Creek coming and already available. Like we have, I believe we've got 2 or 3 of them for sale at the moment, which on Sean's listings. like in around that 4 million to 5 million mark. I've got one that's going to be handed over in 2026, Creek Palace, duplex townhouse kind of thing. It's like 5.7 million for a branded townhouse on the water. They're there, they're available. People just don't really realize because they're very, very limited. They are limited. And like, I think, as you were saying, like people are upgrading within Creek. Like a lot of the time, I know one of the lads just done a deal there with someone renting in Creek that wanted to buy in Creek. And I'd imagine some of the people you talk to for looking to rent 2 beds and 3 beds, as you said, are probably moving out of a 1 bed now.
Yeah, loads of times.
It's not only that though. So when I started in rentals as well. A guy I rented to, and then about 6, maybe 9 months later, he called me up and he wanted to buy. He felt, lived in the area for 6 months, loved the area. He was like, "Yeah, I want to invest here." It's not, it's a place people go and they're enjoying living there.
They don't leave either. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and I think as well on that side of things, when it comes to the owners, and we'll all see this, it's very rare you meet an owner that only has 1 unit in Creek. They tend to be all in on it, like. Yeah. Which is great for us when we're trying to sell units on, because we can ring these people we've dealt with 10 times, whether we leased their properties or we sold their properties or we sold them properties, and they're usually open to buy again in the area, which is a really good sign, especially because like your Creek Palace listing you've got going on today, like this is what his 2nd or 3rd unit
he owned in the Grand, he sold it, he bought in Palace Residence, now he's looking to sell that, and he's also looking to buy another one with me now. So again, it's just like you said, repeat clients, repeat business, because we've been working in the area for now some time, so we're getting this repeat business, and people love the area.
Yeah, they love
it. Again,
it's
the area that sells, it's not the apartments.
Yeah, the lady who bought my 1 bed in Creek Beach, it was actually her sister bought it, but I pitched it to her, and she was the landlord for my first ever rental deal, which was also in Creek Beach. So when I sent her this unit in Creek Beach, her sister bought it so that in a few years they can both actually live in Creek Beach and be like in walking distance to each other. So it's like people are all in on it. And I think it's worth listening to these people, because a lot of investors in Dubai that have a lot of money and they have a lot of experience in the market, a lot of them are buying here. Like the off-plan launches are selling out straight away. Like Palace Blue sold out in 1 day. The whole tower, 500 units sold out in 1 day. It's really a lot. But I think we can probably wrap it up there, to be honest. Yeah. Episode 1 is pretty good. If anyone has anything they want to add.
No, I'm
pretty
okay.
Sweet.
Sounds good to me.
And we plan on doing these episodes once a month. We're going to be consistent with it. So make sure you subscribe, share it. If you want to get in contact with any of us, I'm sure there'll be some sort of details in the description. We are always on Creek Harbour. We're always in Creek Harbour. If you ever need any of us, let us know. Off-plan, secondary market, or leasing. And sweet. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you.